Is American democracy on life support? The question, once unthinkable, is now whispered in hushed tones at dinner tables and debated fiercely in the halls of power. The re-election of Donald Trump, a man who views the law as an inconvenience and the Constitution as an impediment to his ambition, has plunged the nation into uncharted and perilous territory. The guardrails of democracy, weakened but still intact during his first term, are being systematically dismantled. The warning signs are everywhere. Trump's rhetoric, laced with disdain for the free press and the rule of law, mirrors the language of autocrats past and present. His attacks on the judiciary, his attempts to silence critics, and his open admiration for strongmen like Vladimir Putin paint a chilling picture. The very foundations of our republic, the separation of powers, the peaceful transfer of power, the sanctity of the ballot box, are under assault. The tragedy is that this assault is not coming from a foreign power, but from within. It is being waged by a president who seems determined to turn the United States into a banana republic, with himself as the all-powerful caudillo. The Republican Party, once the standard-bearer of conservative values, has largely abdicated its responsibility to check the president's worst impulses. Instead, they have become willing accomplices in his assault on democratic norms. Trump's playbook is not original. It has been used by aspiring autocrats throughout history. First, discredit and delegitimize institutions that challenge your power, whether it's the media, the judiciary, or law enforcement. Then sow division and fear among the populace, creating an atmosphere of chaos and uncertainty. Finally, consolidate power in the executive branch, bypassing or neutering any potential checks and balances. We have seen this movie before, and the ending is rarely happy. From Hungary to Turkey to Venezuela, the erosion of democratic norms has paved the way for authoritarianism and repression. Trump's open admiration for these strongmen is deeply troubling. He seems to envy their ability to rule with impunity, unconstrained by the messy complexities of democratic governance. The danger is that Trump's actions are normalizing authoritarian behavior. Each norm that is broken, each precedent that is shattered, makes it easier for him to further erode democratic institutions. And as the guardrails of democracy weaken, the risk of a slide into tyranny grows ever more real. One of the most alarming trends of Trump's second term has been his blatant disregard for the separation of powers. Emboldened by a compliant Republican-controlled Congress, Trump has increasingly governed by executive fiat, issuing a flurry of executive orders and presidential memoranda that circumvent the legislative process. These orders, often drafted in secrecy and with little input from experts, have been used to advance a narrow ideological agenda, from rolling back environmental protections to banning transgender individuals from serving in the military. The courts have struck down many of these orders, but the damage has been done. Trump's willingness to ignore the rule of law and to act unilaterally has set a dangerous precedent. It has also further eroded public trust in government, as citizens watch their elected representatives sidelined and their voices ignored. Adding to this toxic brew is the unchecked influence of figures like Elon Musk. Musk, a billionaire entrepreneur with no experience in government, has become a close advisor to Trump. He has used his access to the president to advance his own business interests, while also shaping policy on issues ranging from space exploration to artificial intelligence. The consequences of Trump's assault on democracy are far-reaching and profound. Domestically, it has led to a climate of fear and uncertainty as citizens worry about the erosion of their civil liberties and the future of their country. Internationally, it has damaged America's standing in the world, as allies question our commitment to democratic values and adversaries exploit our internal divisions. Perhaps the most troubling aspect of this crisis is the apathy and resignation of the American people. Many seem resigned to the idea that this is the new normal, that democracy is in retreat, and that there is nothing they can do to stop it. This sense of helplessness is precisely what authoritarians rely on to consolidate their power. The future of American democracy hangs in the balance. It is a future that will be determined not by Donald Trump alone, but by the actions of ordinary citizens. Will we succumb to fear and apathy, Or will we rise to defend the ideals of our founding fathers? The answer to that question will determine not only the fate of our nation, but the fate of democracy itself.